We're just a couple of business anchors. Welcome to the Business Anchors podcast. This jingle is slightly too long. This jingle is slightly too long.
What on earth is capacity planning, Lloyd? It sounds really, really boring.
Well, you're right, Dan, it is. That's why I'm talking about it.
Why is it always you that talks about the boring episodes?
No, it's not boring. It's useful.
We were just saying, actually, before coming on air, I've always wanted to say that, that some of our more, inverted commas, boring episodes like this, where it's more practical stuff, have done really well. Like, we got 500,000 views on TikTok for our tax planning one. I recently got 100,000 views on my Insta Reel about tax planning.
Yeah. And big numbers like that really mean so much, don't they, Dan? It means that we are brilliant people. So
no, but you know what I mean? We're reaching some of the more boring episodes.
Yeah.
Reach.
Got no money in the bank. Unhappy. But 500,000. So
we've got an all right business as well, Lloyd.
Yeah. No, only joking. We're happy and making money. So it's basically working out if you have the resources you need to do the work in your business.
Ooh. Can you explain what kind of form this comes in? Because people think a capacity planner, what is that? Is it something on a bit of paper?
Yeah.
What is it?
So there may be far better ways of doing this, but I can tell you.
I like your honesty.
The way, I'm always open to learning. So I'd be interested to hear perhaps bigger corporations that do have the 500 people have software that does this really well. But we've got the way that we do it, and we've got the way that I've seen some other businesses do it. So we do it, sounds old school when I say it, Excel spreadsheet.
Oh.
But it could be a Google sheet if you want to sound a bit cooler. But quite simply, each person that you have within your business has a little square for every day. And that little square gets color-coded towards different projects or clients, and you can work out, are there any, this sounds really like simple, are there any empty squares? Do they need more to do? Or are there too many squares? We've got to sort this out. They need less to do. And it sounds so simple. But obviously, so I have this for about 12 people. And so I find this really fun. It's like, oh, this person's got too many squares. Let's move, and then you go, oh, that project, actually that person can work on that as well. And they've got 5 squares available. And the way you should look at it, first thing I put in is holidays. So each person might have annual leave or bank holidays. Fill those squares up, because if you don't think about that, you're not going to have.
And what colour are those squares, Lloyd?
For me, they're black. Then you have a different colour for each client or each project, depending on the sort of work you're doing. Have that colour code somewhere that you can see. And then, very importantly, if all of your squares are filled up with client work, you're shit. No, you're not shit. But I would see that as a big problem unless that person's in a very specific role. Nearly everyone needs time, sort of admin time. So there's things that don't come under a particular project or client, and people need time to do. So we have yellow squares for admin. And everyone will need at least one day a month, but depending on your business or what you do, they might need one day a week to do that kind of in-house stuff that needs doing that isn't attributed to a certain client. But also, our green squares are very important.
My green squares.
So 25% of the capacity in our business as a maximum, but we're usually quite close to 25%, are green squares. And that is the effort that we put in, the days that our team put in to our own business and our own marketing.
And each month we have a monthly management meeting where I come up with a plan for how we can best allocate that up to 25% time of our team's time towards marketing, and then present that to Lloyd and say, this is the plan, this is what we're going to do.
Do you know what I think will be crazily helpful for listeners? So many people, whether you've got a small business or you're working in a bigger business and managing a department or something like that, people are like, oh, we got so much client work, we never get round to doing this good stuff we want to do to improve our business or improve what we're doing. If you put those green squares in advance,
it's impossible
to say we're working on our own business, we're marketing our own business, you then highlight that you haven't got enough time, and then you do something about it, rather than every month getting to the end of the month go, we haven't had time to do it again. And I think that will be so useful. It's blocking out that time, saying, no, we definitely are using that time for our own business. We're not taking on more work. So you may have a manager or the owner of the business or saying, you need to take on this client work. That gives you what you need, the information you need to go back to them and say, actually, Timmy, don't know why Timmy, we can't take that on. Look, we've got these projects on. We've got this time allocated to improve our business or market our own business, which is really important. So we can't take that on. So another department needs to take it on, or we need to delay that project, or we need to hire someone new. I think that is really a really useful tool for people to make sure you're improving your own business. Once you do that, you want to color code absolutely everything. Anything you or your team are spending time on, make sure it has a color, and put the next 3 months work that you know that you have to do in there. And don't sort of go, oh no, God, that's not going to fit. I better not put that admin time in. That defeats the whole point of this. Put everything in, and don't worry about if it's saying you need 60 days in a month. That's what we want this to do, to highlight where you need more time. So put all of that in, see where you are at the moment, and this will either highlight to you, we've only got 12 days of work and we're taking a month to do it. This is our normal sort of workload. Like and that then shows you the opportunity. Hang on, we're clearly not working as efficiently as we can. We could probably make double the amount of money we are in our business if people had 24 days to do 30 days of work rather than 12. You'll either see that you've got those days, that's opportunity there. Your business could be making more money, or you could be working less, basically.
Win-win.
Win-win. Or the other side, which you'll see we've got too much going on. And you can this is a great tool. If you've got a manager or someone higher up that you believe is giving you or your team too much work to do and it's not physically possible, it might be hard to approach that. But if you have this and you say, look, I'm really worried about this workload, and now that I've used a capacity planner, I can see we've got 20% more work than our team can physically do in the time that we pay for them to work here. That's the other way this could go, and again, really useful for you to see. Yeah, and that's as simple as it is, really. It's putting the stuff in, understanding if you have a problem that you need to, either you have a problem or an opportunity, and how you do that. So you could be moving squares to someone else, or you could be outsourcing so that you have a new column for freelancer and the squares go into their days. Or like we said, the opportunity, you start filling that opportunity with new client projects or investing in your own business, marketing your own business.
And we can't emphasize enough how powerful this process and it is, because we've learned from not doing it well to now doing it. We've still got things to learn, but it's made a huge difference to our business. This isn't just one of those things that we're saying, yeah, do this extra random thing that's not useful. This has been incredibly useful to help us grow, hasn't it, Lloyd?
A massive benefit for your people and your business, I think, is you can get to a point where you know that you're not, hopefully if you've got everything right, you're not overstretching people. Because if I see that someone has 40 days work to fit into the next month, we're going to be firstly talking with that person and saying, looks like you're going to be really busy, so we need to do something about this. But I think over time, if you're taking those actions to make sure, I know there's peaks and troughs, so everyone has busy weeks, busy months where it's like, cool, our whole team have been busy. This has been hectic, hasn't it? But not to an extent where you're overloading people consistently over a long period of time, because that will make people leave, that will make people stressed, that will make people not want to work for you. So I think that's something that I think is really important, that I can see, oh no, Taylor is really busy this month, so we need to take some of that workload off him somehow. Otherwise, if we give him 2 months of work to do every month, at some point he's going to go, well, this is shit and I don't want to do this anymore. Please never do that, Taylor.
Wow, that was really interesting.
Good. I hope the listeners think it was. You can tell I find it interesting, but because I'm boring, sometimes that's not a good judge.
That was really good. And I mean, next week's episode, we've got something a bit more fun, looking at some of the lies you've been told in marketing. So it's probably less sort of Lloyd boring and more fun, Dan.
So if you're here for boring Lloyd, skip next week. If you're here for fun Dan, listen to next week's episode.
But honestly, if you do enjoy these episodes, we speak about this quite a lot. We've noticed an increase recently in people messaging us, posting about the podcast and sharing links to the episodes, and we really do appreciate that. So yeah, if you really enjoy this, please do share it and post about it and tell other people, and it helps more people listen to it. And
please do. We really want to grow this, help as many people as we can, and we want to have more people listen to the podcast. That's good for us as well. Win-win. Win.
So yeah, we'll see you in your ears.
See you in your ears next week.
Bye.
Bye.